All right, next is page 230. And on page 230, you have 6-word problems. And these word problems are going to be similar to what you see when you're being tested. So we're not just circling answers. We need to show work and then go from there. So number 1, the table shows the number of babies and adults at a nursery. So babies and adults. It says which represents the number of babies? Adults times 6, adults times 4, adults plus 4, adults plus 6. So first, adults times 6. Well, 2 times 6 gives you 12. So it's not adults times 6 because that first one doesn't even work. 2 times 6 should be 12. All right, adults times 4. 2 times 4, that gives you 8. 3 times 4 gives you 12. 4 times 4 gives you 16. And 5 times 4 gives you 20. So this is the one that works. Okay, so it's a multiplicative representation. If you have 0 adults, you have 0 babies. We're not going to add. So those other ones are not correct. Number 2, the graph represents the distance Manuel walks over several hours, which is an ordered pair on the line. So we need to look at the line to see which one of these could be there. Okay, so let's just go by what's here. Remember, your first coordinate is your x coordinate, and your second coordinate is your y coordinate. We always go along the x-axis first and then up the y-axis. So the first point is 2.5, 14. So if I need to look to see what I'm counting by. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's counting by ones. They just don't have them all listed there. All right, so 2.5 would be over here, and then up 14. Oh, I didn't check this scale. So it's going by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so 2.5 and 14. So 2.5 is here. We go up, 14 is not even on the scale, so I can't even try that one. So I'm going to put a question mark because I'm going to have to use some more information to figure that one out. Letter B is 1 and 25 and 5. So I go over to 1 and 25 and I go up to 5. Well, 1 and 25 5 is about right there. Well, that's not on the line. So no to B. Letter C is 2 and 25 12. Well, 12 is way up here. I can't tell right now. This one, letter D, 1 and 5/10, 9. Let's see. 1 and 5/10, and I go up to 9. There it is. So that one is on the line. All right, so for every 1 and 5/10, we have 9. Since this one is what's showing here on the number line, this is the one that I'm going to choose, letter D. The other ones, I would have to set up a proportion and figure out if I can get from 1.5 to 9 and kind of go from there to see if these are going to be equivalent when I set up a fraction that looks like this, x over y equals 1 and 5/10 over 9. So I could kind of make a table. Then other one would be 2 and 5/10, 14, 2 and 25 hundredths, 12. So I have to figure out if these are all equivalent. All right, so since this one is on the line, I'm just going to go with that one. Number 3, on a map of the city, 1 inch represents 1.5 miles. What distance on the map would represent 12 miles? So on a map, you have that little key that is like a little spot like that's this big, and it'll show you a line like this, and it'll tell you that 1.5 miles on the map is an actual 1 inches. And I said that backwards. 1 inch on the map is 1 5/10 miles. That's your real distance. Excuse me. Okay, so if I'm comparing inches to miles, I know that 1 inch is 1 5/10 miles. So then it says if I went 12 miles for real life, how many inches would that be on the map? So we're going from what we know to what we don't know. So we're going this way. How do we get from 1.5 to 12? Well, I don't know what times 1.5 is 12, so I'm going to have to divide to figure that out. So let me find some space. 120, 12 is what I meant to put. 12 divided by 1 5/10. So I move my decimal 1 space to the right. So I move it 1 space to the right here. So I do end up with 120. I kind of jumped the gun there. All right, so there's my decimal place. So I have 15 going into 120. Well, 15 doesn't go into 1, doesn't go into 12, it goes into 120. So I have to figure out how many times does 15 go into 120. So I'm going to kind of guess here. I'm going to say 15 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40, and 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay, that was a pretty good guess. And I didn't guess. I kind of knew that. 8 times 15 is 120. Subtract, we get 0. So we need to multiply 1 5/10 times 8 to get to 12. So then 1 times 8 is 8. So I'm looking for 8 inches, which is B.